the Week 7 waiver wire and Thursday night football props edition of the Stephie Smalls Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SMALLS. And the NHL is back, and so is the Hockey Gambling Podcast. Join Ryan and Joel as they break down the biggest games, storylines, awards, and best bets throughout the season. Let's yap.
Steady touch balls, betting it all on the power bottom falls top drop the football like hopes they've been teasing, they're missing the fall season. ACL twisted, bank account freezing, but Smalls caught the shots like some more cool reason. Leaderboard rising while the slot machines ringing. She's slinging player stats like Nostradamus. $100 bills raining down upon us.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's fantasy football day on the Stephie Smalls Show. Do some fantasy pump and dumps with Pete Nova, who everyone loves. Fan favorite here. Everyone's a huge fan of Pete. The outpouring of love for Pete was massive today. And then we'll do a quick extra holes with producer Ryan. Get some Thursday night football player props out. So without further ado, bring on Mr. Pete Nova at Supernova38 on X of RotoUnderworld, FF Faceoff. People were so excited. You were a fan favorite of Triple S.
Well, you having me on a Tuesday is probably the good time because this is the day where I usually drop my defensive stuff.
I'm taking advantage of.
It's probably a good time. So, but yeah, happy to be here. We had a good time last time. I figured, Ryan reached out. I figured I'd come back on. So.
Awesome. Appreciate it. How's the treating seasoning you? How is the season treating you so far? Is there what's the biggest surprise let down as far as fantasy goes?
Man, I feel like the biggest, I feel like the nicest thing for me at least has been that CMC's been healthy. I think that's been cool.
It is
surprising. Man, I don't know. I liked Drake Maye a lot coming into the year. I don't know if I would have pegged him to be top 5 through 6 weeks, but I think that's been pretty cool. And I wasn't really expecting James Cook. I was pretty out on him. So it's been pretty nice to see him. Not nice for me because I don't really have any shares of him, but yeah. And now I'm happy Joe Flacco's with the Bengals, and so we get a little bit of action there from the legend himself.
Yeah.
So a lot going on.
Something that is going on is Rashee Rice is coming back. What is your expectation? Because I was one of those people, which I don't know that I'm kicking myself, but I'm definitely. I didn't maybe necessarily need to draft him as many places as I did. It was a little bit of a bold choice there. What's your expectation this week for him?
Well, I mean, he's going up against the Raiders. Raiders stink. So I think expectations should be pretty high. I don't have my full rankings out just yet for the week, but I would expect him to be inside the top 20. He's a plug and play guy. He's not I don't expect to. He's not a guy that you're like, all right, I got to put on the bench and see him do it for a week. Like you expect him to come out of the gate pretty hot.
Absolutely. A team that also stinks. Speaking of stinking, the Jets are very bad. It's not a pretty sight over there. What are you doing with Jets players rest of the season?
Well, Garrett Wilson, thankfully, that knee injury was not as bad as it might have looked initially. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably going to miss a few weeks, it looks like. I think you're probably hoping that the Jets are just really bad for the next couple of weeks and they do move on from Breece Hall. I know there's been some rumors, maybe go to the Chargers if Hampton's injury is. I don't know. I also think they're going to stick with Fields and ride him as long as possible. They seem pretty stubborn to make that work out, but he's kind of terrible. So.
And the last thing is what's the panic meter here on Saquon and AJ Brown?
I'm more worried about AJ than I am Saquon. Yeah, I mean the Saquon thing. I don't really think it's necessarily like, hey, he's fallen off physically. I think he still looks good. I think that offensive line hasn't really been great. They've definitely taken a step back, which has been the Eagles' strong suit is that offensive line. But Barkley's got two good matchups on schedule here. He's got the Vikings, who have been pretty soft to running backs. He's got the Giants right after that. Then he gets a bye, and honestly, the bye is probably the best thing for them. Get into the bye, reevaluate, self-scout. And AJ, it's been tough for AJ. He's got some good matchups on the board for the rest of the season. So, I mean, at this point, if you sell him, you're probably just selling him at a low. But he's
Sure.
also that guy that it's like, I mean, you can't put him on your bench, so you're just pulling your hair out every single week watching
Yeah.
him play. So it's frustrating, but I feel more confident about Saquon than I do AJ.
Yeah, I think like the expectation going into this season should have been that like they were going to lay off Saquon a little bit, especially towards the beginning of the season. So we'll see what they put together. They're kind of a little bit of a mess regardless, but let's talk a little waiver wire. That's why everyone's here. What's your first ad that you're looking at as far as waiver wire goes?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Kamani Vidal because I expect him to be rostered in most leagues, right? I think the Ron Gadson one is interesting a little bit
Sure.
from a tight end perspective. He had a really good week last week. And Will Dissly, did return after missing some time, but it didn't really matter. Gadson still played 71% of the early downs, and he had a best game of his career, 7 catches for 68. Now it's a soft matchup, and I don't think you're gonna get Gadson and play him every single week, and he's gonna be like matchup proof. But he's interesting. I think Cade Otton's probably the guy I prefer more out of the tight ends, but Gadson's like a deeper flyer. So that would be one that I'm looking at. And then Luther Burden, I mean, people are going to talk about him.
Mhm.
I think you got to add him in the hopes that, the thing that sucks about waivers on Tuesdays, and most leagues I play in, I do waivers on Wednesdays because
Agreed.
we get
Yeah.
that extra day. We get the injury report to come out. DJ Moore did not leave with the team, stayed in the hospital last night, and didn't travel with them back.
Do we know what that was from? I didn't get to follow up because I was so busy today.
I think it was a hip injury. I don't remember exactly, but I think either way, like I think you have to go try and get Luther Burden if he's on waivers, and I think
Okay.
there's a good chance he's on waivers in a lot of leagues because he just really hasn't done anything, and a lot of people drafted him pretty high, and I don't think many people kept him through the bye and through pretty much zero production that you were getting out of him. But if he's if DJ Moore misses any time, even if it's a burden for like 1 or 2 weeks,
Mhm.
I think you feel pretty good about him. So that would be the guy that I'm probably targeting the most.
Yeah, you bring up Vidal. Obviously, that's going to be like every single thread that you see on Twitter is going to have his name. Probably it's either the first or the second name that you see.
Yeah.
He pick him up. That I get it. Like we figured out that it was going to be him, not Haskins. I will just say temper a little bit of expectations because they did play the Dolphins, and I think that's
Yeah.
getting overlooked in like a lot of the analysis that I'm seeing of it. It doesn't mean that he's not going to be like very much someone that you should be starting. I'm just saying I don't know that we're getting 138 yards out of him every week.
Listen, I'm trying to trade him everywhere that I have.
Yeah, that's what I did. I literally,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I haven't been able to find it. Like I'm in a league with my dad that's a pretty deep league, and he loves Vidal, and I don't know why. He loved him since last year, and I ended up getting him on waivers over my dad, and
Sure.
and he's been dying to get him from me, and I'm
Oh
like,
no! Don't take advantage of your dad there.
I'm
Come
trying
on.
to no, he might be sharper than I am, but I'm trying to sell high because I do worry that they're gonna bring somebody else in,
I know.
it was a great week, and I think he's now starved off or staved off or however you say it, like Haskins, but he also gets the Colts this week, which is a tough matchup. And if he doesn't produce against the Colts, right, which I think they're like 7th right now in terms of points allowed, and
Yeah.
like 7th lowest, if he doesn't have a good game against them, then you're looking at, okay, Hampton comes back possibly in 2 weeks. If you're trying to trade Vidal after a down week this week that
Yeah.
comes up, then people are going to be like, well, Hampton's coming back, or they're expecting him to,
Sure.
and they're the last thing to remember is, well, he only played good against a shitty team. Now look what he did against the Colts. Like, so I'm trying to get off of him as much as I can,
Yeah.
while I still have time, and that could be completely wrong too. I mean, it's hard to find running backs. Totally get it, and there's a chance Hampton misses more than just the 4 weeks on IR. So we'll see.
Right. I think obviously another one of the big questions this week is what Bucs wide receiver, what are we looking at there? I kind of think Cade Otton is an interesting piece if you need a tight end as well. We saw once Eguka got hurt, he catch 5 for 6 for 51 yards. And I think we saw last year him kind of pop up when we saw these injuries. Do you have a preference as far as Tez or Shepard goes? I think Tez is kind of the media darling right now because of the trending story. And usually when that happens, you might be better going the other direction. So where are you at with those two?
Yeah, I prefer Shepard.
I agree.
It is interesting though. I did look it up, and Shepard, since he's been with Mayfield from last year, 15.45% target rate when on the field with Baker per Sumer Sports. Tez 15.38, so pretty much similar in terms of their target rate. Tez is younger, high upside, but I worry that if Mike Evans comes back in a week or two, that deep downfield threat, Tez is not going to be that. It's going to be Evans, like we've seen. And with Shepard, he's a safe floor play. When Godwin got hurt last year, 6 weeks after, the 6 weeks following, Shepard averaged 5.5 targets. Now, he wasn't getting a lot of work downfield and a lot of he would have a couple catches for 15 yards. I think there was one game where he almost 5 for 15. So you're kind of just it's kind of gross either way. And maybe the answer is neither. And like you had mentioned before, maybe the answer is Cade Otton, 26% target share, most routes ran on the team last week. And Cade Otton, it was weird. He had a really strong pop last year for a couple of weeks. And he's almost just the forgotten guy. It's kind of hey, all right, we need you now. We're going to give you some touches. But when everyone's healthy, it's kind of just they could care less to get him the ball. But I think Otton's going to be the biggest beneficiary.
Absolutely. I think, okay, there is one more injury. It's Puka's. I saw your tweet. You mentioned Higbee. I like Whittington, but I like betting on him this week. I don't know that I'll be starting him anywhere unless I'm in kind of a desperation spot. But I do like him as a flex option, especially in deeper leagues. Do you think he is fighting? Is he going to fight with volume too much when it comes to Adams and Higbee?
Yeah, I think the real winner is Adams. I think part of the reason I was so jacked up to draft Adams is Puka's injury history. Stafford consolidates targets to one guy, and we've seen him be able to do it to two, but I don't expect him to give that kind of volume to hit, not Wiggins, not Higgins, Whittington. I don't know why I was getting that.
It's kind of a mouthful if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
I don't expect it to go to Whittington. Higbee's interesting because, we've seen McVay, they like to use the tight end. Higbee's dealt with injuries the last year and a half. And so, but I think ultimately, I think Higbee becomes the biggest beneficiary. Whittington is interesting because if he takes the next step, it's okay, he fits more in Puka's role because he can block too, just like Puka can, and they're similar play style. Tutu Atwell also got paid this offseason to come back, and they didn't give him not they gave him a 3-year deal, and I think it was a solid extension. So
it was decent. It was close to the Josh Palmer Slayton deal.
Yeah. I think it was over 20 million. So,
Sure.
But I still probably not going to roster Atwell unless it's best ball or DFS where high upside, because he has the ability to take a catch and go 90 yards. But I think the answer is Higbee. I think that's really the answer here.
Absolutely. Atwell will definitely be a longest reception play probably for me. Last one, Fannin Jr. I don't know how many leagues. It looks like 27% available in Yahoo leagues. A lot of people picked him up around in the beginning of the season and dropped him. He's obviously going to be popular this week with the Njoku. Last week, you saw 10 targets, 7 receptions, 81 yards. Dylan Gabriel's pacifier has been the tight end position. You can look back at what he's done for the two of them the last 2 weeks since he started. I am going to start him this week, and I think he's worth picking up in or out on Fannin.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a big hater of his just because I feel not because I don't like the talent, but I just think people cream their pants after
it was way too much.
Week. Yeah, people were just getting all crazy and as if Njoku, but the injury for Njoku looks like he could miss 1 to 3 weeks, and thankfully it wasn't worse. You still worry about the possibility Njoku could get traded. Now he's dealing with an injury. Who knows? But I think Fannin is definitely a good pickup. I think I'd still rather Cade Otton. If I'd rather Cade Otton if we're expecting Igbukah and Godwin to miss multiple weeks.
Yeah.
Godwin's already missed one last week, now one this
Yeah.
week. He's already. I mean, the fact that Godwin's already been ruled out is pretty concerning to me from a guy that's coming off of an injury. So I still think I'd rather Otton just because it's a better offense and we've seen him be really freaking good when they needed him to be. But I still think Fannin's a fine pickup because the upside's there for him and just because he's just so talented.
Sure. I think the last one too, if Spears for some reason is available, I think that he's probably a good option to have. Even if you're stashing him maybe for right now, he looks very obviously more effective than Pollard. It's like, I don't know that that's going to take very long for that to switch over. He also he has more targets in the passing game. So maybe you don't start him depending on what your roster looks like. But if for some reason someone doesn't have Spears or whatever it is, I do like Spears and I like what that looks like rest of the season.
Yeah, I think Spears is interesting. I don't know the entire. That entire offense could maybe get better with the firing. I don't know. Sometimes you see it where it's like a jolt in the arm for some of these guys. I don't know, but yeah, Spears is interesting. I don't know. If I think it's fine to add him. I think most running backs that are talented are worth adding, and you're churning a roster spot here and there. So I think it's fine. He's going to be involved.
Yeah.
I just think it's probably going to be more matchup dependent, and you just hope
For
that
sure.
he can take more of that role.
Absolutely. Before we do listener questions, that were brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SMALLS for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SMALLS. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting all the best prices. They're also available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Let's see here. Where are we at? David, longtime listener of the show.
You got some interesting commens in the chat here.
Go scroll applies to some of my tweets sometimes. If you want to see interesting comments, there you go. Yeah. But I don't know. They're doing pretty good right now. Everyone seems to be behaving.
Good.
David asks, any chance Pacheco becomes more relevant? He had his best week last week, but it wasn't like something to like. It was fine. It was, he has yet to go over 51 yards. I don't know.
Yeah, he did have a season high, 62.5% snap share. And he did get most of the early down snaps. But again, the problem is I don't know. He's had a tough schedule to start. It's going to start to loosen up a little bit, but I still I view him as at best a flex play. I don't think you're going to feel confident as like an RB2 on your team with him.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. Pick 2, start Jordan Mason, Vidal, or Bill, another media favorite.
I'm definitely going to start Jordan Mason just because, the volume.
Off a bye versus the Eagles.
Yeah, and Jalen Carter didn't play last week.
Sure.
Maybe a chance he doesn't play again. We saw what Javonte did when Jalen Carter didn't play. I think that would be the move. And then I don't know, who do the Commanders play? They play
the Cowboys, so I would go Bill.
Yeah, I would go with
I don't
Bill.
even need to look at anything other than just hearing Cowboys defense is about all I need to know.
I think Vidal could be a little disappointing this week.
He's definitely going to be disappointing. I feel like pretty confident about that, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Let's see. City Crypt says, is Dart a must start going forward regardless of matchup? Broncos have allowed the fewest points to the QB position. So if you have the option not start him this week, I don't hate it, but he does have the rushing upside. Some start to actually throw downfield a little bit more, 50 plus yards in each start. But again, this would be the week to see this not pay off starting Dart.
Yeah, I think you probably have better options, than to go with Dart. Yeah, I probably wouldn't start him. I mean, but the guys underneath him are not great options either. I might rather start Aaron Rodgers against the Bengals, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, I mean, it's a bad defense. I mean, you're starting Dart over Geno, you're starting him over Rattler, you're starting him over Kyler if Kyler plays.
I'm trying to get rid of Kyler. I need him gone. I need him like off of my dynasty. He's like irritating. Even looking at his name is pissing me off.
Dude, he might be. I mean, Jacoby might be better than him at this point. Like it's bad. He
bad.
stinks.
It's so bad. He doesn't want to be there either. That's part of it. Like I don't think he has any interest in playing football.
No, I will say Jaxson Dart though. I have bet his over on his rushing yards every week. He's been a starter, and
beautiful.
I think he's been sitting at like 35 to 39 like every week so far.
I think it opens closer to like 40. It's somewhere in the 40s. I think that was the last week that we saw it in the 30s.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to go up. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do as many design runs with him. Like,
yeah,
I kind of worry that how he's gonna hold up, but yeah, his schedule kind of. It's not.
There's a lot of question marks about a lot of the teams that the Giants play, so it's hard to figure out. Like, it looks hard on paper, but then it's also a lot of teams where it's like, are we sure we totally know their identity yet?
Yeah, I mean, look, 19, 17, 23 fantasy points in the 3 weeks that he's played. So, I mean, he's giving you a good floor. So, even against matchups like Chargers was a tough matchup. Philly was a tough matchup, though they were without Quinyon Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, I think probably not starting him this week, but you probably have a good chance to play him a decent amount the rest of the way.
Sure. This comes from Trevor, which I'm gonna read this off, Trevor, just for you, but you know the answer to this question, I think. Drop Knicks for May 10-team home league. For context, before all that, let me join that league replies happen. He mentioned I talked about Knicks last week, but where are you going with Knicks in May?
I mean, I'm a Broncos fan. At this point,
you are.
yeah. I mean, at this point, though, I would go with May. The schedule's super. I mean, there's a chance that the Patriots only lose like 2 games the rest of the way. I mean,
their schedule's absurd.
It's so light. I mean, Knicks doesn't have a bad schedule rest of the season either, but May is running more too than Knicks. Knicks hasn't been running nearly as much this year. I'm hoping that changes, but I would say May for sure.
Absolutely. Let's see. One more here. We kind of talked about it, but with all the injuries to wide receivers, it's time to get desperate. Let's talk about Tez, Atwell, Whittington, Zay Jones, Van Jefferson, desperation plays. I feel like, Is there anyone there that stands out, I guess, of those names? I don't know if this person was asking for us.
What team does Zay Jones play for anymore? Is he still on the Cardinals?
I was going to say, I'm confused. Where is he? I think he has to be, right?
Yeah, I mean Marv with the concussion.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah. I don't even remember who was on there, but I think maybe
Atwell, Whittington, Van Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess I would go with Whittington. Honestly, if you need a floor, Whittington. If you need ceiling and you're chasing points, I'd go with Atwell.
Okay, I'm with you there. What's the final score of the Giants-Broncos game?
Oh man, I don't like to put score predictions out there for my team.
Okay, you don't have to do a score prediction. How do you think the game is going? Would you like a lighter question there?
Yeah. I think I am a little concerned, but not
really
completely. Well, I just don't like the idea of them traveling back from London. I mean, they're also like West Coast, so it's not. If it's East Coast, it's a little bit of a shorter trip. West Coast, you're adding an extra like 3 hours to it. But I mean, neither here nor there. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be interested. Broncos left guard is out on IR, and then the guy that they replaced him with, Matt Parrott, who used to be a Giant.
I love Matt Parrott.
Yeah, I think he's on IR for 4 weeks, and he was terrible last week.
What is he? Oh,
yeah,
poor guy.
So, I don't know if he's a friend of the show, but I know he just wasn't very good last week. So I don't know.
Better than he ever looked on the Giants, if it means anything to you.
Well, he was actually kind of promising. He's had like 2 good camps with us, but yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking, I think they'll get to Dart a decent amount. But I don't know. I don't want to put it. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not
I think
usually
you
at a
guys are
loss
gonna
for
beat the
words
crap
here.
out of
Well,
us.
yeah, I was just saying. Well, what's your prediction here?
I I think the spread's interesting for a team coming back from London, but it just shows how much Vegas Vegas is not going to respect the Giants, which I don't think that they should. It's not a
What's the
great
spread?
matchup. I'm excited to see Andrew Thomas go up again. Like I think there's piece of this more like the Giants season for me is I know someone tweeted out like I don't think I know anyone that's happy about their NFL team this year. I am. Like this season there's no expectations going into this season.
Sure.
We now have a quarterback that looks promising. You got a running back that's awesome in the 4th round. You have Abdul Carter. The defense is kind of starting to put it together. Shane Bowen sucks, and it sucks that Neighbors got hurt, but they opened the win total line at 4.5. I'd be surprised if they do not go over that this season. I like right. It's already the season's a win to me right now. Like I'm having a blast watching it. So no matter what happens, I think you see what you can build off of, and that's exciting. So Broncos will be the biggest test for Dart. I think he's up for the challenge. He looks much better than I could have expected.
Yeah, I see 23.5 for the team total for Denver, and it's 16.5 for the Giants. So that's like quick maths here. Like what, 7.5, 8
Yeah.
and a half? Is that what it is? Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I think for you guys, I mean, it's nice to see. I don't know what's gonna happen with Dayball and Joe Shane.
Mhm.
I think it's a tough spot. Like, I didn't love them bringing them back because now you're kind of sitting here and you're like,
It is
well,
a bad spot.
you're like, we got to bring Dayball back because Dart looked good and we can't saddle him with a new coach. We want the continuity, and then it's like, well, we can't fire Shane because then the new GM has to be saddled with a quarterback he didn't draft
Mhm.
and a coach that's on the hot seat that's going to be pretty much like a guy that's
Yeah.
going to be fired pretty quickly, and it will be the guy that gets thrown under the bus if the next year. So it's like that was kind of my struggle here, and then it's also, I guess, Dart maybe has shown enough flashes where you probably feel confident this quarterback class stinks next year, so you're kind of just like you're
Sure.
probably rolling with Dart, and there's no concern that they're going to draft somebody else. But yeah, I think that's really what you want. I mean, you had Daniel Jones in the building. I mean,
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say to that?
I mean, that's just like terrible though. Like you look at Dayball and it's like, how do you? Oh man, like
No, I think there's such a it's a testament to even like I was getting so aggravated like watching like Matt Hurt, for example, like guys like that. You see Zeitler, you see Will Hernandez, you see there is so many players, not even players. Then you have the O-line coach that went to the Commanders. The O-line looks fine over there with pieces that are not they're not household names, that's for sure, a lot of them.
Sure.
I think that like, how are all these players going out into the world? Saquon's going and winning a Super Bowl, having career years. Like, that's just something like that's
Yeah.
you guys. That's a you problem. Sterling Shepard looks like like he looks like a spring chicken right now. Like, what is going on? What are you doing in the building that you one can't develop talent, and
Yeah.
two that you're just letting the like. There's also no the evaluation is just quite interesting. You let Xavier McKinney go off and have a career year. Like, what is going on? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. It's weird. I was at a wedding last weekend, and I'm from Jersey, so a lot of my buddies are Giants fans, and
Yeah.
they all love Joe Shane. I don't get it. They think that, I
Really?
mean, I mean, they're like they point to kind of like Neighbors and they drafted Neighbors. Now Dart looks good, and I'm
Yeah.
just like Neighbors kind of fell in like it's kind of hard to fuck that up. Like, I mean,
I
Neighbors,
think he's
like,
just he's like team proof. I don't know that that's like
yeah, I mean, like, you
yeah,
drafted a great player, fine, like, fell into their lap. Abdul Carter, it's been a couple of games, like,
sure.
he's been good, but, like, I mean, again, I'm more like when I evaluate the GMs, it's more about, like, what do they do, like, on day 2 and beyond? Like,
Mhm.
not day 1. Granted, it's good to have hits, and there's a lot of misses in day 1, but I don't know, man. I think Joe Shane kinda stinks. And I think you hit it on the head. I think a lot of people leave. I think the tough thing with Dayball is you kind of gave him praise for Daniel Jones looking good for that one playoff run. And you're like, look what he got out of Daniel Jones that 1 year. And then Daniel Jones goes to Minnesota, and then now he's having a good year with Indy. And I didn't expect that. I mean, I definitely thought he was better than Anthony Richardson. I never understood that whole thing.
Yeah.
But him like crapping on New York pretty much and basically saying like, yeah, like the way they prep in Minnesota was eye opening, and like pretty much making it sound like the Giants process is dog shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that falls on Dayball, but either way, not to make it gloom and doom. I think the Giants are in a good spot. They have some talent. It's good to see
Yeah.
I mean, nothing else
Sure.
matters unless you have a quarterback, right? So
Sure.
everything else, having a good quarterback makes remedies everything else. So.
Yeah. If I were to guess right, like today, I think Daboll's job is not safe at all, and I think we see Joe Schoen for another season. If that would be my guess. And if they don't get rid of Shane Bowen, I don't unless he does some miraculous thing and learns how to use a safety properly. He better be gone because I cannot. It's brutal to watch. They just make questionable decisions. Like what's going on with the kickers? How are we starting a game and then the kickers out? Like we did this the year before, and then you went into the season. Okay with your wide receiver room. I don't understand that. So there's just questionable stuff where it's like you're kind of neglecting things that are an issue. So
well, they paid Slayton. They paid Slayton.
Sure.
And didn't there was a report that came out. I don't remember who they didn't. It was like an anonymous wide receiver in the Giants room. I think it was this offseason. And whatever wide receiver mentioned it had said something to the effect of like that Neighbors gets the ball too much. I don't remember the exact words. I don't remember if you had seen that, but it was something to the effect of like, like them not liking how Neighbors gets like, not that they don't like, it wasn't like crapping on Neighbors, but it was kind of like questioning the play calling and how it only goes to Neighbors. And I'm like, well, Wan'Dale Robinson just had over like 100 targets. So it's not Wan'Dale Robinson. Like he's not complaining. Theo Johnson.
It's got to be Hyatt. It would probably be Hyatt if anyone.
Maybe Hyatt. I was thinking Slayton.
But also Hyatt do something when you get the ball, buddy. Like
Hyatt makes maybe a little more sense because his career's been pretty frustrating there, and Slayton did get paid. So I guess maybe I wouldn't expect him to maybe be bitching and complaining. Maybe Hyatt makes sense. The defense for the Giants is bad, and I thought it was going to be good. So that's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
It's Shane Bowen. Just wait till you get it on full display watching the Broncos and Giants. It's pretty painful to watch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be pain on both sides because Sean Payton, I love him, but like, man, some of the stuff he tries to I feel like he tries to like be the smartest guy in the room when sometimes he doesn't need to. And last week really bad against the Jets. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll both be frustrated at times. Yeah. I'm sure that the Broncos will let the Giants stay close. That's how I expect it. I expect the game to be close and them to win, but I don't expect them to throttle them. That's
I think the thing with the Giants, I kind of been saying this, if they get ahead early, I feel okay with them. I don't foresee that this team can play from behind. So I think that is the issue. And then once a team doesn't let them do that, I think we're going to see a very different Giants team right now. Before I let you get out of here,
sure.
Can you give us one defense to pick off? Or I know you dropped your
this week. I mean, I'm happy to. I mean, man, one defense to pick up. I guess it depends on who's rostered and who's not. Sure. I think if a sneaky play for me would be the Atlanta Falcons if 49ers don't get healthy. If Purdy's gone, I think that's a sneaky play. I think in addition, I think the Colts, I have them as a top 12 play and consensus has them way outside of that. Oh. So I have the Colts, but if you have the Colts, they have a really good matchup next week as well. So yeah, Colts are a sneaky team. And then the Patriots, everybody's kind of rostering them. They're playing the Titans, and they have a good matchup next week. I mean, you probably can't even go find them right now because they're probably rostered everywhere. But Colts would be a nice one if there's a chance that they're available. And a little bit of a deeper one would be the Falcons. And then my sleeper is the Bears. I have the Bears at 11 this week. They're 5% across.
Okay. So I like it. Let people know where they can find all your work, what's coming out, what is already out, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, you can find me at RotoUnderworld. I'm over at Player Profiler. I do top 10 takeaways there every week, and I also drop my running back video there every single week. You can find me at the Faceoff Sports Network. I co-own that with Michael Hoff. Dropping defense videos, dropping start stits, doing all that stuff. And then you can find me on Twitter at Supernova38. It says it on the screen right there, 2Rs38. Happy to be here. Appreciate you having me on, and excited to come back.
Yes, we'll have to get you back on soon. I appreciate you joining us. I'll let you get out of here.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em where you can win up to 500x your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, available for a ton of sports. Here's a pick'em entry that I like for Thursday Night Football. Metcalf higher 56 receiving yards. Warren higher longest reception 11.5, and Noah Fant higher 26.5 receiving yards. That gets you 6.2x your monies. Underdog's got a brand new offer for customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SMALLS. And Rhythm has been absolutely crushing it in college football and NFL with picks and props. Rhythm is giving away weekly cash prizes for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. A prop for tomorrow that Rhythm likes. Oh, they agree with me. Jonnu Smith over 24.5 receiving yards is one of their smart signal plays. That's minus 112. I like this quite a bit. 59% hit rate there. Use promo code SGPN at 25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN 25. It's time for extra holes. I think we're just going to do Cap and Yap today. Producer Ryan.
Extra holes.
Wait, sorry.
What happened?
I was trying to, I don't
okay.
know. I was trying to do too much. Didn't work
I'm
out.
getting praise for my ad reads. I think that was one of my better ones today.
Yeah, no,
You did a
you're
good job.
killing it on the ad reads. Wanted to say hello to
Hi.
all our new viewers on X. We're streaming on your X now.
We are
Wanna
streaming
guess?
on my X now. I hope everyone's having a blast. I appreciate everyone going and subscribing over on the YouTube channel. And then we also are on Spotify, Apple. Rate and review the podcast. Comes out in audio form shortly after we go live. We go live Monday, Tuesday, 6 p.m. and Thursdays, 6 p.m. unless I'm traveling. And then we will let you know when there is an update.
Yes, we've got some updates coming.
Yes, we do have some updates coming, but we won't overwhelm everyone all at once. Do you have any favorite bets for Thursday Night Football, producer Ryan?
Yes, I just placed okay, so I really do like I've just placed the parlay. Jaylen Warren anytime touchdown.
Okay.
I have Pittsburgh Steelers minus 5.5.
Okay.
Warren over 50.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
Because the Bengals give up so many rushing yards.
Stinky.
And I know you think Jaylen Warren is stinky, but he's playing the worst defense against the rush.
Well, I was doing the stinky to the Bengals defense, so I was agreeing.
Oh, I thought you didn't. You were saying stinky to Warren.
No,
and I'm going to go under 42.5 rushing yards for Chase Brown. The Steelers held Judkins to his lowest rushing yards of the season. They held him to only 36. So I feel like they can do the same thing with Chase Brown, who has not been productive.
I am with you there. He's been very disappointing, honestly. Wish I did not draft him in the amount of times that I did this season. I'm going to lean into, I know I gave out that underdog slip. I'm leaning into the fact that the Bengals are giving up the fourth most. They're giving up so many yards. It's so many yards. We're just going to lean into it here. I like DK Metcalf to go over 56.5 minus yards, minus 115, 2 straight games exceeding this. He had 96 and then 126 the last 2 weeks. I also like his longest reception at 24.5, minus 108. That is at. Holy fuck, Jaylen Warren, please do not make me regret betting on you. Please do not make me regret it. I'm going to give it out, but don't you make me regret it because it's going to be brutal if you do on Monday. Not that he cares.
Right. And how tell us how you really feel about Jaylen Warren.
I just don't feel great about it, but I'll listen. He claims to be Rodgers' bestie. So we'll lean into that. He thinks he's Rodgers' bestie. He was hurt. He was back last week. Listen, he looked good. I like his over 19.5 on the receiving yards, -118. He's gone over this every week, but last. And then I like his longest reception, like I gave out as far as underdog goes. That's -105 over 11.5. Also went over this every single week. Theme there with Mr. Jaylen Warren, but do not make me regret it. Noah Fant over 20.
About Harris's anytime touchdown because they gave up 2 touchdowns to Josh Jacobs last week. The Bengals gave up 2 touchdowns to Josh Jacobs last week.
But who do you want to score? You're saying?
Oh, Warren.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But I'm going to give out something a little crazy in a second.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, okay. I see someone asking quick. Jamie's asking any Roman Wilson prop bet. I looked for his lines. I did not find them yet. Once I find them and they pop up, I'll post something on my Twitter with him in it. And then I was talking about Noah Fant over 25.5 -113. Steelers giving up 7th most yards to the tight end, actually right behind the Bengals. So that's where the Jonnu part comes in as far as the underdog slip. And you know what?
What?
Caleb Johnson. We had a Caleb Johnson sighting, and I loved Caleb Johnson all offseason, and he is 10-1 to score a touchdown. I'm rolling with it on a Thursday night. Let's get weird. Bengals have given up 10 TDs to the running back position. He's had, only 2 red zone targets this year, but I liked that we saw him. 10-1 is a fun number for an anytime touchdown for a guy that has been on. We've been seeing him a little bit, so that'll be my spicy bet for the week, I guess.
It's a good spicy bet.
Thank you.
I agree. Put that out as Steph's spicy bet.
Spicy bet. That's all I got. You got any other bets? Or we ended up going 4-1. So last 2 weeks, 4-1 in Circa Millions.
Yeah, so we're 8-2 the last 2 weeks on Circa Millions. That is pretty darn freaking
Don't
good.
let the kids heat up. Don't let the kids get hot.
Yeah, kids are getting hot. I think we're gonna go 5-0 this week. I'm predicting it.
And we will lock
any
those
thoughts
in.
on line movement or anything?
No, nothing to dis. I told you I'm starting to get I'm a little nervous about the Bucs line. I think they're becoming a little publicly how do you even say that? Whatever. They're the public likes them.
Too public.
A little too public for me, all right?
That's fair.
We'll see.
Hey,
we'll talk
about
that Thursday. We'll lock them in on Thursday. Who's our guest Thursday again?
We have Prince Huda.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Fantastic. It'll be his first time on the show. We'll pop his Triple S cherry. But until then, you can catch us on X, rate, review, subscribe. We are live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see you on Thursday.
Yes, please, please, please go listen to us on Spotify.
Listen to us.
And review.
I'll stop losing my voice. I'll stop losing.
Download. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Stephie Smalls Show, sports gambling. Play some bets on winners and catastrophe. If you want to know where to put the money, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is the place to be.